Today I made 8 days worth of breakfast and 5 days of lunches, and I did it in just over 1 hour. For breakfast I have these sheet pan protein pancakes which have about 32 grams of protein for 3 of them. For lunch I made this taco mac which only took me 35 minutes to cook and has about 54 grams of protein in each dish. If you're new to meal prepping in 2026, this is a great one to get your feet wet with because it's almost impossible to mess up. Also, breaking news, I built an app for all my recipes, so if you want to learn more about that, stay till the end of the video. Now follow along as I meal prep for the week. I'm going to start out with the sheet pan pancakes because these can cook in the oven while I prep everything else. For this prep, I'm going to make 2 half-size sheet pans worth, which will give me 24 pieces. I placed a blender over a scale and added in 2 cups or 480 grams of 2% milk, 1/2 of a cup or 120 grams of applesauce, 2.5 cups or 600 grams of cottage cheese, 1/4 of a cup or 60 grams of maple syrup, and then 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of vanilla. Then I just blend that up until all the cottage cheese is fully incorporated. In a new bowl, I'm going to add 2.25 cups or 540 grams of liquid egg whites. I'm going to whip these with a whisk until they become frothy and increase in volume. Next, you can mix together all of the dry ingredients. You'll need 6 cups or 480 grams of oat flour, 1/2 of a cup or 92 grams of non-fat powdered milk, 1 teaspoon or 6 grams of salt, 4 teaspoons or 16 grams of baking powder, and 1 teaspoon or 4 grams of baking soda. Mix that until no clumps remain. Next, we can combine our liquids. You can pour the contents of your blender into your egg whites and slowly and carefully incorporate them together. Doing it carefully will help to preserve some of that frothiness in the egg whites, which helps with lift in the final product. Next, slowly whisk in all of your dry ingredients to make your batter. If you're doing a double batch like me, you're going to need a big ass bowl. To bake, I have 2 half-size sheet pans that I lined with parchment paper and sprayed with oil, and then I divide the batter out evenly between those two. Once it's in the sheet pan and leveled out, they're going to go in the oven at 375 degrees Fahrenheit or 190 Celsius for about 20 minutes. And now with those pans in the oven, we can move on to making our taco mac. This one's going to go pretty fast. To begin, you're going to grab a hold of 1 bunch of green onions or about 100 grams worth, cut off the stems, and then chop the whites and the greens into 2 separate piles. We'll cook down the whites and then use the greens for garnish in the final dish. You can cut these any way you like. I just cut mine into a small to a medium-sized dice. Next, you'll need 2 medium-sized bell peppers, about 150 grams each, 1 of the green variety and 1 of the red variety. Chop off the head and the butt, remove the seed capsule, and then cut each of these into a small to a medium-sized dice to match the size of your green onions. Once all this is cut, we can set it aside and start cooking the beef. Place a large pot over medium to medium-high heat and add in 1 tablespoon or 15 grams of oil. For this recipe, we're going to use 2 pounds or 908 grams of 93.7 ground beef. I'm using extra lean beef in this recipe because it's going to be put into a heavy sauce. We don't have to worry as much about it drying out. So it helps give you more protein for less calories and fat without sacrificing too much on flavor. Season that beef to your liking with salt and pepper and allow it to cook for a few minutes to brown up. While you're waiting for that to cook, you should take some time to measure out all the seasonings we're going to add here in a couple of minutes. Once that meat has had the chance to brown, you can break it up and stir it around in the pot to finish the cooking process. Add in your onions and pepper mixture, stir one more time, and then let the beef finish cooking and the onions and pepper soften. It should only take another 3 to 5 minutes from this point to finish cooking up that beef. You can stir it around every minute or so to ensure that the peppers and onions all have their chance over the heat. Once the beef has colored up, you can add in your seasonings. You will need 2 tablespoons or 16 grams of chili powder, 2 teaspoons or 6 grams each of paprika, garlic powder, and cumin, and then 1 teaspoon or 3 grams of onion powder. Stir everything in the pot together till the seasonings coat the meat and give it about 1 to 2 minutes so that the spices can bloom. Next, add in 1 can or 420 grams of crushed tomatoes and 2 cups or 480 grams of beef broth. Then dump in 10 ounces or 283 grams of dried macaroni and stir the contents of the pot together until it is evenly incorporated. Try to make sure all the macaroni is underneath the surface level of that pot so that we can ensure even cooking. Bring it to a light boil and then pop on a lid and reduce the heat to low. It's okay if some of the macaroni is exposed. We can stir the pot and the steam will help to cook it. Throw in the lid and let this cook for 10 to 12 minutes. Around the 8-minute mark, I gave it a quick stir to make sure nothing was sticking to the bottom and to give some of those top-level macaroni noodles a chance to get to the bottom. Anytime you're stirring, you can grab a noodle and check it for doneness. Whenever these are done, it's ready to go. I should note that if you use gluten-free noodles like I do, you want to be very aware to not overcook these. They cook faster than the traditional wheat noodles do, and they disintegrate if you cook them for too long. Next, you can cut off the heat and pour in 1 cup or 240 grams of 2% milk. I wanted to add this last after we're done with the boiling process to try to prevent any curdling of those milk proteins. Once the milk is stirred in, give it a taste test and adjust any flavors with salt and pepper as needed. When you're happy with the flavor, this one is done and ready to plate. Start to finish, it only took me 35 minutes, so this recipe is perfect for those weeks where you just want to get in and out of the kitchen and have your meal preps ready to go. This recipe will yield you 5 servings, so you can divide the contents of your pot evenly into 5 containers, and then measure out 3/4 of a cup or 84 grams of shredded cheese and sprinkle it over the top of each dish. You can also throw some of those green onion slices over the top as well to add a bit of green color for garnish. If you were to evenly divide this taco mac recipe into 5 servings, each serving will have 674 calories with about 54 grams of protein. I should also mention that number 1, I decided to add some berries to one of my trays of sheet pan pancakes, and number 2, I pulled these from the oven at some point during the cooking process of the taco mac, and they've just been cooling on top of the oven since. Once the meals have cooled and they're done steaming, you can pop on the lids and move them into the fridge for the week. These will last for up to 5 days. When lunchtime rolls around and you're ready to eat, all it takes is a 2 to 3 minute trip in the microwave with stirring occasionally every minute or so, and you've got a nice hot meal ready to go. If you can't find 93% lean ground beef where you live, you can always substitute ground chicken or ground turkey. It's just not going to taste as good because beef is obviously superior. If you want the full rundown on these sheet pan protein pancakes, I recommend going and checking out the full-length video I made on them on my channel. Basically, I cut each tray into 12 slices, and then I move these into the freezer to flash freeze until they're solid, and then transfer them over into vacuum sealable bags. Each slice with no toppings will run you about 138 calories with 10.5 grams of protein. So for 3 of these for breakfast, you get over 30 grams of protein. That's not too bad in my book. I prefer just to toss mine in the microwave until they're hot to reheat, but some people like to use the air fryer to get a bit of crispiness. If you want an easy meal prepping plan for this week, look no further than these 2 recipes. They are both about as quick and easy as you can get. So, I built an app. It houses all of my current recipes in an easy-to-use, mobile-friendly format, and with the app, you can filter and search for recipes by ingredient, by calories, by macros, a number of different things to find whatever it is you need in order to make meal prepping as easy as possible for you. Now, what I think is the coolest feature on the app is that you can adjust every recipe to fit whatever your needs are. So if a recipe is written to have 600 calories and you want it to have 500, you can move the slider, adjust it down, and it will automatically update all the ingredients to match that new calorie target. And you can do this with every single recipe on the website. As far as I'm aware, there's not a single other recipe website or app on the entire internet that has this functionality. So I think that's pretty cool. You can also save your favorite recipes so you can come back to a collection. You can add them into a shopping cart and then generate a shopping list so that it's all right there for you when you go to the store. Now, the app is for TMPM members only. That's members of my website, mealprepmanual.com. If you are a current member, you have access to the app. All you need to do is go download it from the App Store, use your same login information and password from the website, and it will let you right on in. Now, if you are not a member of my website, good news. To celebrate the launch of the app, I'm going to discount memberships by 50% through January 31st. That's $25, one-time payment, no subscription, and you get access. And on February 1st, I swear to God, I'm setting that price right back up to normal. So don't say I didn't warn you. Go sign up now so you don't miss out. If you are an iPhone user, the app is currently live on the Apple App Store. If you're an Android user, you got to wait a little bit. I submitted it to the Google Play Store, but these Android reviewers are like on some kind of perpetual vacation and they haven't approved it yet. I don't know what they're doing. I sent them an email. I said, guys, what are we doing? Get to work. I have an app to promote. You think this is funny business? It's not. Get to work. And they didn't respond. So until they do, you Android users are just going to have to wait a little bit longer. I've been working on this thing for what feels like 24 hours a day for months now, and I really like where it's at, but it is currently the simplest it's ever going to be. There are so many more features I have in mind that I want to add to this. It's just going to take some more time to build and develop those out. So keep that in mind when you're scrolling through the app. And if you guys have any suggestions, or if you find anything in the app that you're like, hey, this doesn't look right, just shoot me an email, let me know, and I'll get it added to the list of things to change for the next update. All right, thank you. I love you all. Okay, bye.